Good afternoon. I'm reading to a third grade class. Good afternoon, class. The story we're reading today is called Brother Eagle, Sister Sky. It is a speech by a Native American named Chief Seattle, and he lived about 200 years ago. The illustrations in the book are by Susan Jeffers. Chief Seattle was a Native American. Class, can anyone tell me what a Native American is? Andrew.
What?
What is a Native American?
A Native American is a person who lived here before us.
Okay, that's very good. Friends, native means an original inhabitant. That would be someone, as Andrew said, lived here a long time ago before the Europeans came in. So Chief Seattle had made this speech, and we will go ahead and start the book. You can see this picture here. Andrew, what do you see in this picture?
There's a wolf and a person.
Okay, any idea what this picture might be trying to say?
That he is one with the wolves.
Okay, very good. Okay, Andrew, can you look at this picture and tell me anything about what might be happening?
Well, those look kind of like Europeans in the snow, because the guy has the mustache and the hat. So I would say maybe the Native Americans are being pushed along by the Europeans.
Yeah, I think you're right. Being sent out. Okay, let's go ahead and read the introduction and then we'll get into the book. In a time so long ago that nearly all traces of it are lost in the prairie dust, an ancient people were a part of the land that we love and call America. You can zoom in on the book as I'm speaking. Living here for thousands of years, their children became the great Indian civilizations of the Choctaw and Cherokee, Navajo, Iroquois, and Sioux, among many others. Then white settlers from Europe began a bloody war against the Indians, and in the span of a single lifetime claimed all of the Indians' land for themselves, allowing them only small tracts of land to live on. When the last of the Indian wars were drawing to a close, one of the bravest and most respected chiefs of the Northwest Nation, Chief Seattle, sat at a white man's table to sign a paper presented by the new Commissioner of Indian Affairs for the territory. The government in Washington, D.C. wished to buy the lands of Chief Seattle's people. With a commanding presence and eyes that mirrored the great soul that lived within, the chief rose to speak to the gathering in a resounding voice. How can you buy the sky? Chief Seattle began. How can you own the rain and the wind? My mother told me every part of this earth is sacred to our people. Every pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the dark woods, every meadow and humming insect, all are holy in the memory of our people. My father said to me, I know the sap that courses through the trees, as I know the blood that flows in my veins. We are part of the earth, and it is part of us. The perfumed flowers are our sisters. Oops, I goofed into. The bear, the deer, the great eagle, these are our brothers. The rocky crests, the meadows, the ponies, all belong to the same family. The voice of my ancestors said to me, the shining water that moves in the streams and rivers is not simply water, but the blood of your grandfather's grandfather. Each ghostly reflection in the clear waters of the lake tells of memories in the life of our people. The water's murmur is the voice of your great-great-grandmother. The rivers are our brothers. They quench our thirst. They carry our canoes and feed our children. You must give to the rivers the kindness you would give to any brother. The voice of my grandfather said to me, the air is precious. It shares its spirit with all the life it supports. The wind that gave me my first breath also received my last sigh. You must keep the land and air apart and sacred, as a place where one can go to taste the wind that is sweetened by the meadow flowers. When the last red man and woman have vanished with their wilderness, and their memory is only the shadow of a cloud moving across the prairie, will the shores and forests still be here? Will there be any of the spirit of my people left? My ancestors said to me, "This we know, the earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth." The voice of my grandmother said to me, "Teach your children what you have been taught. The earth is our mother. What befalls the earth befalls all the sons and daughters of the earth." Hear my voice and the voice of my ancestors, Chief Seattle said. The destiny of your people is a mystery to us. What will happen when the buffalo are all slaughtered? The wild horses tamed? What will happen when the secret corners of the forest are heavy with the scent of many men? When the view of the ripe hills is blotted by talking wires? Where will the thicket be? Gone. Where will the eagle be? Gone. And what will happen when we say goodbye to the swift pony in the hunt? It will be the end of living and the beginning of survival. This we know. All things are connected like the blood that unites us. We did not weave the web of life. We are most merely a strand in it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. We love this earth as a newborn loves its mother's heartbeat. If we sell you our land, care for it as we have cared for it. Hold it in your mind, the memory of the land, as it is when you receive it. Preserve the land and the air and the rivers for your children's children, and love it as we have loved it. Okay, friends, now we're going to get into small groups. I've put each of you into a group of 2 or 3, and I'm going to give you each a page or 2 to take and to interpret the pages that you get. You're going to have a list of questions, and you're also going to look at the pictures and try to determine what it is that the illustrator is actually drawing to make sense of the text. For example, if you get this page, one of the questions is going to be, what do you think the chief means when he says, "How can you buy the sky?" Or "How can you own the rain and the wind?" Then it says, "Every part of the earth is sacred to our people." What does sacred mean? What does holy mean? And why does he use the word every in this text? These are the kind of things you're going to be answering. You're also going to be looking at the picture and try to determine what it is the illustrator is trying to do. There are 3 Maryland Common Core English Language Arts Standards for Literature that I would like to focus on. First is RL 3.1, Ask and Answer Questions to Demonstrate Understanding of a Text. 3.2, Recount stories from diverse cultures to determine the central message, lesson, or moral and explain how it is conveyed through key details in the text. And third, to explain how a text's illustrations contribute to the story. Thank you so much.